All right, boys and girls, it is time once again for the Guys Weekend podcast. I am Josh Tenney, along with, as always, the glorious red, white, and blue motherfucker, Big Sexy himself.
That's right, baby.
Brandon Parks.
Woo! Josh, I am hung over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what'll fix that? A Busch Light apple. Blackable, baby. Listen, we got a long day. Long day of recording. Long day of streaming.
Brandon is a
ready.
firm believer of hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. You're damn right. Maggie was already like, "You're not going to drink today, are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Is it bad that I didn't know that Busch had flavors?
So this is the last year for Busch Light apple. They're doing
Busch
Light peach.
Stock up, man. You got to stock up on those while you can.
Yeah. Oh, my can koozie is invisible. That's cool. Yeah. Wow, that's not as good as it was last night. Jesus Christ. So last night was Magoo's bachelor party. Wow. We played paintball. We went to Harmon's. Between the 5 of us, we had 8 buckets of Busch Light. And then I gave Magoo a shot. And that is the video that I sent you, Josh, of him immediately getting rid of that shot. It was rough. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I feel like a whole new man." I'm like, "Yeah, I obviously." So then we leave, go back to the house. And then the debauchery started. Started drinking a little bit more. Then it got to the point where we were going to go meet Godson. He was working. Magoo did not want to go to Nathan's. He said, "Absolutely not." I'm like, "Well, Godson wants to see you. He wants to see you. It's your bachelor party, guy. Come on, you got to go." So we assisted Magoo up the hill all the way to Nathan's. Everybody grabbed an appendage, and we carried him all the way up there. And he made it into Nathan's. We were there for probably, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours. And then he leaves. And then I got frisked and asked by 3 different bouncers whether or not I was carrying a gun, because somebody said I was carrying a gun. And I'm like, I would never do that. So I continued my shit, whatever, no big deal. And they came back like, "You sure you're not carrying a gun? You're going to need to leave." I'm like, I'm good to go. Why do you think why are you assuming I have a gun on me? It's fine. Nothing. Just get out of here, guy. So then we just kept drinking. Bar tricks. Ladies loved it. I danced with some lady at her class reunion. I put her balloons in my mouth. They were real balloons, not chest balloons. So that was gross. And then we left there. Magoo took a shower. He was a brand new man. I'm a brand new man. We don't own the rights to that, so we can't play that song. Then Maggie took us. We piled 5 guys in the back of Maggie's Jeep. Christian and Tice sat in the trunk of the Jeep. And we went to the Schmeiman Schmoral, the local place where we support single mothers, and put in work.
Put people through college.
We did. We got what's called a shower show, another one.
Do you know the Diamond?
We did. The Schmeiman Schmoral, yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't get that. Sorry.
For a golf outing.
Golfing. Yeah, we went golfing last night. Yeah. So we had 2 moderately attractive employees do their thing with edible paint. I have a picture. I'm going to send it right now, actually, of of Magoo's face, because he was front and center. And when you're front and center at a schmower schmo, you get a little bit. Oh no, did I delete it? Fuck, I didn't get it. Either way, his whole beard was a different color this morning. I broke up a fight. That was cool. And then we left. So it was a long, long night. but we survived.
What was the fight? What happened there?
No idea. People started screaming and yelling and running. I'm like, oh no, somebody's shooting the place up. Swinging at, I don't know. I just followed the bouncer. I'm like, hey, here we go. And we just kind of like pushed people
What
around.
are
and,
the
like,
chances
separated
that it had something to do with drugs?
them. Not at that classy establishment. No chance. Who knows what it was about? I don't know. We don't know. And then they left. And then like an hour later, Maggie comes to pick us up, and there's 6 cops outside. I'm like, wow, you guys really, really missed your window of opportunity because they're already gone. Not here anymore. So then Maggie's yelling at me.
It was a reason for six officers to go in there and see a boob or two.
Oh yeah, in Jackson of all places. And I'm like, whoa! You guys have like the best police force around. Took you an hour to go 2 miles. Yeah, you're good.
And to ring whoop the boys.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is the biggest thing we've ever done. Probably.
I can tell you that they respond to house parties way faster than that. So
Touche.
for reference, Jackson is where I went to high school, and this strip club, this established place is right
The golf
downtown
course.
Jackson, I'd call it. Yeah. It's a golf
forgot you
course.
lived in
It's
Jackson.
all indoors. It's really nice.
Yep. So yeah, it was a great time. Magoo successfully slept on my couch. The
That's a first. Did he?
patio couch all night.
Oh, I was gonna say that's probably a good call because the last time that he slept on your indoor couch, Magoo had a little tinkle accident.
He did. And I will reference a tinkle accident because right behind this green screen right here, there is a fluid on the floor. And I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm going to go ahead and say it's an ice cube that melted last night.
Go with that.
I don't know. It doesn't stink. So
Jesus Christ.
not sure.
Give it time.
I might have shortchanged it and, smacked the sill. And I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember. I came up here to go to bed, and that was the end of it. So
Couldn't have been anybody else.
no. Well, I thought Magoo was sleeping up here with me because he put his cot up here, and then I come to find out that he slept on the patio couch.
He loves the outdoors when he's been drinking, doesn't he?
Does. So Maggie goes outside, and she's like, "Magoo, you need to come inside." He's like, "No." And just kept laying there. She's like, "Well, it's gonna rain." And he goes, "If it rains, I'll come inside." She's like, "Well, listen, I'm not arguing with you anymore. I'm just gonna go inside." So he slept successfully on that homeless man's bed, my patio couch. So we knew it was
Brandon's really a friend of the homeless.
Yeah,
gives them a shelter, a roof over the head,
Yeah.
a couch for them to sleep on,
cold beer, warm
cold beer,
handshake.
whatever he leaves outside.
Yeah.
Usually it's other people's shit that's left over from a party.
Correct.
That's left
I ate a
outside, so-
hamburger this morning. Zach, you'll be happy to know that your pan of buff dip is currently reheating for the second time on my smoker right now. And I am going to smash the shit out of that.
That's
About an hour.
old.
It's
That
hard
was
to cook.
Guy's weekend.
Yeah.
That was like a month ago.
Did
I
you
put it in the
freeze
deep freeze. It was frozen.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
thank
Oh my
God.
God. I was gonna.
Yeah. Come on now. Not that
That was a
bad.
close.
Jesus.
I was about to throw up real quick.
Brandon's over here.
Oh
yeah,
my
all my
God.
3-4 week leftovers. Feed it to the homeless. Yeah,
a little
bit.
Yeah.
That's what we do
I
with
got milk in my glass. It's slightly thick.
Yeah. When it leaves that film on the side, that's how you know it's ready. It's delicious. So I didn't eat any of that last night. I did eat. What's the
Ass.
thought I had a bag up here. No, it was the Flamin' Hot Doritos.
Mhm.
Oh, I ate way too many of those. So
Oh, like the ones that are like Cool Ranch but hot. Those ones.
no, the other ones, not Flamin' Hot. I don't know. They were like the super hot ones, and then like the red and black bag.
Oh,
The
yeah,
roulette?
Oh,
Was
Fuego.
it the
I don't
roulette
know.
bag?
Something. I have no idea. Maggie showed up. She's like, "Hey, I brought you some chips." I'm like, "Sweet." Then come to find out, I went there this morning. I was with Magoo because he lost his shirt. I have no idea where it went. I'm like, "Oh, cool." I said, "Are there any more chips?" Because I'm about to eat this buff dip. He's like, "You're not about to eat that, are you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna heat it up first." He's like, "Ugh, all right." That's why I just need to make sure there's chips that I can dip in there. So I go over and look at the chip bag. Underneath it, there's 9 pies, like the little pies, little pie action. Don't know why they're there. Might throw it on the smoker. Have myself a little treat. We'll see how today goes. I have nothing planned today, so it's going to be podcasts, beer drinking, and video games. So
That's an ultimate Sunday right there.
the American dream.
Yeah.
So Brad's here. Zach's here. What's going on, gentlemen?
Kenobi just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got Han Solo here with us, it appears.
All I see is Chewbacca.
If you guys had to give a rating for that Kenobi show, what would you?
I don't even know if have you guys watched it?
I have not.
I'm halfway through. I'm halfway
Okay,
through.
I'm waiting to hear.
Oh my! He couldn't even finish it. We gave him these topics.
Never mind. We can't do this. We can't talk about Kenobi then.
Anyways,
Can't do
it's
it.
really good.
Oh, we can't talk
It
about
brings out your nostalgic aspects as a kid. I would watch it. Obi-Wan's
Hey, look,
my favorite childhood character.
There's
and
some
honestly,
there's some plot hole
adulthood.
gaps.
Well, you can't say that if you haven't watched the entire series.
Yeah,
What do you
just
mean I can't say that?
Just say it's really good.
Because they close
okay?
it. What do you mean?
Just-
Because they
Just say
close
it's
it.
great.
How does Leia not remember Obi-Wan Kenobi, the person
'Cause
that
she's
saved
fucking
her
10.
life? It's 10 years old who had a traumatic experience. You're going to remember the person who saved your fucking life at 10 years old.
That's fair.
When did she see him in New Hope? Riddle me that.
She didn't know who Obi-Wan Kenobi was when she was sending the message.
What? What? Why do you think she in the
Wait.
show she calls him Ben the whole time?
Yeah, she knew, didn't she? And
No.
And
Obi-Wan Kenobi, your only hope.
yeah.
If you
What do you?
I have
what do you mean?
watched every Star Wars movie.
Just not the rest of the show we're
50
talking about. You're right. Josh. I love you, man. You can't out Star Wars me. I will do this with you all day.
Chewbacca agrees. He's right there.
See?
Chewbacca's asleep. Chewbacca's
No,
over there.
he's watching the
fucking
security
dialing it up
camera from
over
the
there.
soap show last night.
Yeah, he's sleeping. He watched Kenobi, so he's asleep. Sorry.
He can't take their titillating evidence from the Shmoyal.
Yes. So
Anyways.
what's that? What's the thing here? He doesn't know who doesn't know who Kenobi is, right? Is that what you're saying, Josh? Like,
Leia
is
doesn't
there a
remember
reference to
who-
that in the show?
How many Kenobis do you think you're running into in the fucking galaxy?
I don't know. Is Kenobi
How-
like Smith?
Okay, back up for a second. Josh, how does she not know him when she sends a message to him saying, "Help me, you're my only hope"? How does that?
No.
say she doesn't know him?
If you listen to the whole thing, she talks about her father working with him during the Clone Wars. That's how she sends the message, because her father said to send the message.
Yeah, she said, "You served my father in the Clone Wars."
Yeah.
That
She
doesn't
didn't say
I
she
don't
knew
know
him,
you, but my dad does. That's not what that means to me.
but it doesn't say that she does. She acts like you don't. She does. She did not know him.
So here's what I'll tell you. So, one, you haven't watched the rest of the show yet, so I'm gonna need you to relax a
You
little
are
bit.
acting the same way I acted when we were talking about climate change.
Oh, well, those are two very comparable things. In both cases, I was right, but we'll move on.
Not
Anyways.
even a little bit on this one, but
Listen, all I'm going to say is there's plenty of opportunity in 10 years for anybody, including Kenobi, to force wipe her memories. It's very possible she could have wiped it from him immediately. She could have even asked him to do so later. Hell, she might even do it in the show you haven't watched. But she could very well ask him, just on the sheer chance that she knew she would be interrogated later, which also, by the way, happens in New Hope. But also, I just think that you're interpreting it wrong. I don't think that it's like she doesn't know him. I think like you are my only chance now because there's no one left. Like, so that's kind of the way I take it, at least. It's not like she like mispronounces his name. She's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like she knows who it is.
I think, in my opinion, the show set up A New Hope by saying, so not to spoil anything, but I think we can all agree that Leia and Obi-Wan don't die. Spoiler alert.
Oh, damn it. Now I can't even
Basically, at
watch it.
the end, it's like, hey, I'm out there in the world. If you ever need me, I will always come to your aid. So I thought that, at least my interpretation, that's like at the end of the show. That's kind of setting up the next time we hear from either of them is that R2's hologram message of her calling for Obi-Wan's help. That was my take on it. So I'm with Zach on this one.
Oh man.
But Josh,
Well,
I will
I'm sorry to say that everybody's wrong.
No, I will say
Finish the show.
The show was a C+ show.
Josh,
Just from a show quality perspective, it's a C+.
You know what's cool about our videos? We can do this. Nerds. Just
Zach,
kidding.
do I go cry in the
Just kidding.
corner?
We'll bring you guys back. Just kidding. C+ show. Why do I want to watch it then? No, listen, I didn't finish The Mandalorian.
No, you gotta watch it.
My dad doesn't have a job, so I couldn't afford Disney Plus. And after they got rid of my girl with the great eyes, it just kind of got lost on me. Gina,
the girl who got fired by Disney for Mandalorian.
They finished the season
Oh,
before they fired her.
that lady. Okay.
oh, yeah,
Okay,
with the
yeah,
great
yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
The one looks like a dude.
Yeah.
That one.
Finish Kenobi.
Yep.
Jon Snow gets a spinoff show.
No, he doesn't.
Okay,
Yes,
listen.
he does.
Out of all the
He's
messages and the chats and stuff, that one pisses me off the most.
I did that one. I did that one. You're welcome.
Oh man, that one got me.
Oh, it's so good.
Do we want to close on the Star Wars topic, or are we moving on to other things?
No,
'Cause
go
I
ahead.
have
Speak your piece. Tell Josh. He's
No,
wrong
I was
again.
just gonna
like
say.
that
I think
part.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't think Kenobi was a C+ show. I think that it's just a Disneyfied Star Wars show. But I mean, like, as I love Star Wars so much that as long as they keep producing it, I will watch every single piece, and I'll criticize the shit out of it, but I'll watch every single thing they do. I don't think it was a
Of
C+.
course.
I think the writing for some of the characters, ergo Riva, was subpar. It was pretty bad. But yeah, there were plot holes until they filled them like an episode away from where you're at right now. But
They close a lot of the plot holes
Yeah.
and wrap it up very well in the last
Yeah.
episode. But the problem with wrapping up the plot really well is that the plot sucked.
yeah,
That's the reason I think it's a C+ show is just from a showmaking perspective. It was great seeing all the characters. Vader was amazing. Little Leia, I've told Zach this. I think Little Leia was the best part of the show for me. I thought she was phenomenal.
yeah, she was perfect. I think Ewan was amazing. I
listen,
think Hayden Christensen
you-
was phenomenal.
You guys need to slow down on saying that children were amazing. Okay, we're trying not to get flagged on YouTube.
This is a family show, and I'd appreciate it if we could
Jeez.
keep,
We're talking
continuing
about
to
a
do this.
show that revolves around a guy that killed a bunch of younglings. Okay,
Hey,
We gotta support the
listen.
children.
easy,
Do you guys
big
know there
fella.
was no? Do you know that the Jedi didn't recruit any redheads? Do you know that? Because it was a sign that they might be a Sith. Anyways, moving on.
Well,
Oh, I love it.
you can't comprehend the power of the dark side, buddy.
It's easier
Oh no,
to-
you get sunburnt way faster than me. You go really well on Mustafar.
It's easier to convert someone who already has no soul to the dark side.
Listen,
That one got me.
you remember how Anakin started melting away when he hit got close to lava in episode 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I hit that planet, that's what I would have fucking looked like.
Guys, so I just got a
Fucking
text
burst
from
the
Magoo.
flames.
This is completely unrelated, but it just came through. I thought it was funny because we were just talking about this. He says, "Talk about a horrible case of fire hole."
Oh, those Doritos did not make it.
No, the
Rip.
Doritos and the ghost pepper ketchup. By the way, I put that on a burger this literally 20 minutes before I was outside filling the cooler when I texted you and told you to hold your horses. I was filling the cooler. I was eating a hamburger, dry as shit, but the sriracha ketchup on there made it a little bit less dry. All right, so Josh was wrong about Star Trek. Zach loves that show. It's great. We're here. We're
Deep
moving
breaths,
on.
Deep breaths, buddy. Deep breaths.
Listen, I was a Deep Space Nine fan. Okay, just saying.
Oh God.
Anyways,
That's great.
I think the
So
next
Jon Snow
topic,
is getting a
there you go.
spinoff. It has been confirmed.
Not only
I
that,
would
but George R.R. is involved, and Kit brought all of his writers and he like basically brought the entire production team himself.
he didn't bring in the
brought
writers that wrote season 8, did he?
No,
no, I'm
they've
pretty sure
moved
they
on.
got killed
Thank
off
God.
actually in real life. Like the
They've
writers
moved,
of life.
moved on to something. They
Got
were
rid of
doing
them.
Star Wars, but then they moved on from that too.
I'd like to
Yeah,
say
they were
something
doing-
controversial.
They were doing
I
Brad,
forget what
they came out saying they were doing like a Darth Vader thing.
They were involved in a Star Wars project, and then halfway through, they were no longer involved with said project.
Probably because even Disney was like, "Hey, yo, this kind of sucks."
Yeah,
I didn't think season
Season
8
8,
was
man.
that bad.
Season 8 wouldn't have been bad if they didn't. It felt like they put 20 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag.
I think my context is I didn't watch it as it was coming out. I watched it after the fact. I caught up on everything. I watched all the seasons in a row. I didn't have to wait for anything. So there wasn't that big buildup and then the letdown that everybody else had. It was just kind of like, oh,
sure.
all right,
So-
they ended the show.
Zach's Star Wars is my Game of Thrones, right? I've watched the show 9 times. I'm very proud of that fact.
But
But
season 8,
the way I've described this before, and I stand by it now. I was very mad after it happened, right? Because it did suck. But I think that the plot actually wasn't bad. I think that the problem was that they condensed the last 2 seasons into 13 episodes. And if they would have had 7 and 8 would have been 2 10-episode seasons, the plot line that they had, would have been spaced out and had time to develop and would have completely made sense on screen.
I
But it
agree with
didn't.
that.
It didn't, because you can't sell Daenerys, who frees the entire Slaver's Bay populace over the course of multiple seasons, having a mental break and takes out 1 million people in a city in one episode.
Also, spoilers to anybody who's listening.
Sorry, team. 4 years ago. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
but
Your spoiler window is over. In my
Spoiler
opinion,
window
you have
is fast.
12 months to watch anything. If you don't watch
shit, I
it
was
12
going like
months,
12 weeks.
Yeah, I was
Fair.
gonna, Zach. That's generous, man. I'd give him more than a month. Like,
when I have my kids watch Game of Thrones, I think I'm going to stop at the end of season 7.
oh, you
I
can't.
think I think the
would
problem.
very
I think
upset that.
HBO had initial plans to start producing the prequel, like right after that aired, but it never happened. Like I feel like a lot of shit started falling through for HBO. I think that's why if they had to do it over again, I think they would do what Brad said. They would do 2 seasons, 10 episodes apiece, and kind of spread that out over 2 seasons.
Yeah, like the other 6 freaking seasons. I mean, I don't know. That's what made me mad, and that's why I'm at peace with it now. Is because I don't have a problem. If I had a big problem with the plot, I think I'd probably still be really mad about it. But that's why I'm not. But House of the Dragon is going to be amazing. I can only assume. And Snow, very excited for Snow. I was shocked when I saw that. I did not think Kit Harington was going to be back in the Thrones universe.
I mean, let's be fair. He's not really doing anything else
I guess
worthwhile.
He's just doing the freaking Marvel. He's the Dark Knight in Marvel. Or is that what the character's called?
But he's gonna have something come out like every 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know what other projects he's involved in. He told Amelia Clark all about it, and Amelia Clark's the one on the talk show who just said that Kit brought his. There you go, Zach, my man.
Nice.
Nice. Amelia is the one who said that he brought his own writers and his own showrunners and everything. And George R.R. said apparently that his team is like phenomenal. So we'll see how that goes.
So do you think this is going to be? Is there anything that could make this show better than Game of Thrones? Do you think it's going to be at the same level, other than the disappointing ending? Do you think it's going to be the same level? Is it going to gain more traction? Is it going to be more popular than?
It's going to be different
2 now at this point. Are we talking
about
about
House of the Dragon?
Or House of the
Either of
Dragon? Yeah.
Either of them. I mean,
Brad,
do you think they're
go
going to
first.
outshadow what
House
it
of
was?
the Dragon is going to be good, and I would put money on that because just like the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones is completely based around books. Fire and Blood is a prequel book about the rise of the Targaryens. So the show has source material. So we already know that the plot is not going to suck. That
Fair enough.
leads me to believe also that the writing is not going to suck, because when Game of Thrones, aka the first 6 seasons, revolved around the books and had source content and writing from the books, it was a GOAT level show. So just because of those facts, I'm willing to say it'd be on the same level as the first 6 seasons.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
my
I
opinion.
I think it's
that
going to be different.
go ahead,
So
Josh.
the House of the Dragon's probably gonna be very similar-ish production wise to what Game of Thrones was, right? So it's gonna be, you know, big city, big landscapes of construction, stuff like that. Snow's probably gonna be more
The North.
wilderness.
I can only assume
It's gonna be
in
he's
the
a
North.
wild one, right?
He's
Yeah.
up with the wild
So-
things.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I think both shows are gonna look very different from one another.
I think that House of Dragons, I think, is going to be good. Personally, I hope it's better than original Game of Thrones, because you have a pre-written starting point, and you have a already finished, and we all know what happens. B final. So, and I really hope that they do this whole thing of just showing how the Targaryens and everything that is about them, how it'll help make sense as to why Daenerys did what she did, if that makes sense. Like, to kind of see what that power, what that fury, like what those dragons do to their mental health and all that, to push them to become what Daenerys did. Because all that Daenerys thing, like, to me, it makes sense, but I think it was just like that whole, like, there could have been so many opportunities in that season if you added another season where you could show her showing spouts of violence, showing spouts of kill him now, rather than just like all of a sudden going from not killing any innocents to, you know, straight up just massacring an entire city. Like, there's so many, like, and almost every other movie does it better, where they have, like, they show the downfall and then the ultimate plump all the way down the evil side. Like, example, I'm not to go back to our previous topic, but like, if you watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, like, there's several fucking times where Anakin shows like he's going down the wrong route. And then if you bring in the side shows like Clone Wars, like, you're gonna see even more of that. Like, he shows all those signs well before it happens, but I feel like we didn't get that with Daenerys. So I'm hoping that House of Dragons kind of shows that it's from her family more than anything. It's not like what happened to her. It's like her family's just fucking wild. Like, they're crazy.
Well,
I think to
they
me
say when
that's
a
exciting.
yeah,
kinda
well,
wanna
they
see
say
that. I
when a
wanna see the wild
Targaryen is
shit.
born, the gods flip a coin, right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole saying, because they're fucking crazy or they're not. And with Daenerys, for 6 seasons, they showed us how she was merciful and forgiving. I agree and disagree with what Zach said. I think they did show a lot of those little things of points where she wanted to kill and her advisors talked her out of it. She burned the Tarleys alive. She wanted to kill all the masters in Marine, and Sir Barristan Selmy had to talk her out of that. They showed little flashes. For me, where I agree with Zach, is that it was just another issue of rushing the plot. The jump of, all of a sudden I'm going to nuke a whole city, did not make sense, because they did not play out her downfall for a long enough period of time.
Right.
After Missandei got her head chopped, spoilers, and Rhaegal died, got shot down by Euron Greyjoy, you literally saw her unravel in an episode. So
It could have spent a little bit more time on that. Yeah.
more time, just needed more time. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah. If you
so
had
unfortunate.
one more season of fucking 6 episodes, that's it. That's all they would have had to
Season
do.
8,
Like,
part 2.
I think
Yeah.
I think the last season, though, the problem was, I think they said wasn't it like the most expensive season of a series ever produced
at that time, yes.
at that point?
that time until Lord of the Rings on Prime. It was insane now.
Yeah,
So if you had 6 more episodes, what would make the ending good? Like what would bring you closure that you need to have it just like end the way you thought it would? Like, what's the ending you guys were hoping for?
Ooh, that's a question.
If you had
I think
if you had 6 episodes,
if you would have gave me the same, if you gave me the same ending, but me a better plot of how each individual got where they were in that finale, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't tell me that
100%
Daenerys is going
agree.
to lose her mind in the span of a half hour episode.
But doesn't that
kind
of like isn't it
know?
like covering your ass? Now you're setting it up to where you can have the spinoffs and you could do individual shows based on each family and each character to show.
not gonna
You
do
could have
that.
did that
Like,
if you would have expanded.
Fair.
I think a cool spinoff would be what's west of Westeros and have Arya just go on her out, because that's just unwritten territory. And she mentioned throughout the whole series that she wants to see what's out there. But I completely agree with Josh. I will say over and over again, I think the plot makes sense. The only thing about the plot that I'd be like, was Bran being king. That's the only thing that I don't know if time would have made it make sense.
No, I wouldn't have done that at all.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Sansa being
Probably
queen.
the dumbest thing I saw the entire show.
Yeah. But Jon going north, I don't like how we got to that. Like Josh said, if we had a better workup to that, totally buy Jon going north. I think it's what the character would have done. Arya leaving Westeros, 100% what the character would have done. Sansa being queen, completely closed her arc, and she has one of the best arcs in the entire show. Tyrion probably deserved to be punished a little more for just shitting the bed for the last 2 seasons of the show. But him being
I still would have rather him be on the throne, though. I would have rather him be on the throne than almost any other character, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The only other one that I think would have been cool to see on the throne, if he, finished the full fucking arc that he had an arc that was perfect, crushed by rocks. No, fucking Jaime. Jaime Lannister is one of my favorite characters of all time, and that arc is like top tier. Brienne, top tier, and then then it's just like you see, like, it just baffles me, and I still to this day
it's like watching an addict constantly like improve themselves throughout the course of a few years.
Exactly what it is.
And then all of a sudden, hey, I'm gonna shoot up heroin again.
Yeah, and it's just like it. I also Cersei deserves so much fucking more than to get crushed by rocks. I think about that way too often. I wish I could have seen her get ripped apart by the Stark direwolves. Something
That would have been
that was
sweet.
like Ramsay level. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And to not even really see them get crushed, fucking put her head going out like that. I'd be fine with it. I want to see it. I don't want it to fade to black like some romantic 50 Shades of getting crushed underneath this rock from Castle Rock or from fucking Red Keep. It made me so mad. Like, there were so many things in that show that I loved, like the amount of camaraderie and like being able to come to work the next day after the episode and just like everybody talking about it. Like that is peak cinema forever. Like there will never be another show, in my opinion, that will cause that amount of global talking and hype. Like, it was like if you didn't watch it that night, you had to stay off every form of social media, otherwise you ruined it.
Listen, we were ushered out of the Schuenfeld's house on Sundays when we go over there. 8:30. I got to go. The kids, they had a whole song, a whole dance. It's Game of Thrones night. The whole
it was
thing.
awesome.
That's how I was. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't care what's happening in life.
Chuck's like, I love y'all, at 9. But you got to go. You have to leave after watching Game of Thrones. I'm like, God, these fucking nerds, man.
Yeah, I've told Zach this, but the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, I think writers are on interviews saying the first 6 seasons of Thrones might be the best television product ever for the next like 30 years.
I put that all the way through 7. I think
That's
7
fair.
was incredible.
Why
I
is
didn't
it
mind 7 either. Yeah.
Best production, I would say, was season 7. But as far as writing, 1 through 6 is peak.
I was gonna say, why is it 6 seasons, Brad? Why, like, what's the? Is that because
the drop off happens at the start of 7?
Yeah.
That's when they start rushing. They made it 7 episodes. They made season 8 6. I'm with Zach. I don't dislike 7 as much as other people did.
Yeah.
But that is when the drop off starts to occur, and the last 2 episodes, Battle of the Bastards and Winds of Winter, I believe is what it's called. Cersei blowing up the Sept and Battle of the Bastards, Ramsay versus Jon, are 2 of the best episodes of television history in general of all time, and they're back to back, and those are both season 6. And that was when the fever pitch of Thrones was at its highest, is because like, oh my God, somehow the show just got even better than where it was. This is an all timer, But I when I think of those 6 seasons, I can't think of anything else in my head right now that I can even compare to it that's on the same level. And they're not even in the same ballpark.
Out of the next 2 spinoffs they have, do you think it's going to gain that much traction? Do you think it's going to be like Zach said, it's going to be the talk of the water? What do you call that? The gossip
Talk of the town.
The water jug thing. I don't remember what it is. I've been drinking.
House of the Dragon, man. House of the Dragon has all the pieces. It's got the same. Yeah. It's got source material. It's got everything you need to be great. Snow. Jon Snow is one of my favorite characters of all time, but it will not be as good as House of the Dragon because they are going completely improv. They're making a plot line to do that show. They have no source material, and for that reason, I don't think it's going to end up being as powerful as Thrones or House of the Dragon.
It'll be good, I think. I think it'll be good. Do I worry it's going to be meh? Because, like, in my mind, I'm just like, what trouble could he have aside from surviving the winter? And I know that there's stuff up outside the wall, and it's not just like the Night King and stuff, but
yeah, like what's he gonna do?
I feel like it's gonna feel like a Marvel movie where they just like keep pulling like villains out of it. Like let's be like, all right, who's got like that fucking movie, Cabin in the Woods, when they're sitting there like, all right, who's got money on this? And they pull out like zombie deer. Like figure it out, Jon Snow.
Well, there's no more White Walkers. So what are they gonna do up there? I want to see some ice spiders as big as hounds, and we never saw that.
So was there anything in the books that led on to anything other than White Walkers? Is there anything in the books that would be
exactly what Brad just said? There are some really dangerous, scary stuff up there. Direwolves get killed by things. Let's put it that way. Like things hunt direwolves. Like ice spiders is a huge one.
Yeah. People don't get that Lord of the Rings lore and Game of Thrones lore. Very similar. There's a lot of shit that people don't know about. There's hundreds of creatures and backgrounds that are just not really mentioned a lot of the time.
Hey, listen, I've been saying for years, Star Wars is a cheap knockoff of Dune.
Oh God. Zach's done. The Iron Throne has been vacated.
Oh shit!
He's gonna need 5.
I don't really believe that, but it's very obvious that Lucas got a lot of his ideas from Dune.
When was Dune published?
It was in the 60s.
Star Wars? Oh shit! It's 1965.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that until right now. 1965,
more you know,
1969, 1976, and 1981. No.
Did you guys watch the new Dune?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I just Googled Dune, and the third search result was, did Star Wars copy Dune?
Man, they're getting quick with their listening. Shit.
It's no secret that Star Wars borrowed heavily from Frank Herbert's science fiction novel Dune back when George Lucas
shut the fuck up.
Dude, I disagree, but I'm looking up this stuff for the first time now.
Oh my God.
Continue reading, Brad. I want to hear this.
Close this window.
I want to hear it a little bit more. Come on. Give me a few more sentences.
44 years later, not much has changed, but the Book of Boba Fett is helping to improve one of the most thoughtless ways Lucas ripped off Herbert's work. What?
All right, that right there, that shows you that article does not know a single fucking thing. Book of Boba Fett was trash.
I know. It was terrible. Okay, I just learned something new today. Apparently, Dune was made in the 60s. Okay.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, Josh, I fucked
Listen,
that one
I
up.
enjoy Star Wars. I enjoy Star Wars way more than I enjoy Dune. But after you read Dune and then watch the Star Wars saga, there are a lot of similarities. I'm not saying it's a complete rip-off, but there are a lot of similarities.
I believe PlayStation game back in the day called
Lucas. Dune? Maybe. I believe Lucas was a big fan of what's his name? The guy that created Dune.
Herbert?
Yeah.
His last name's Herbert. I forget what his first name is. But there's a whole list in this article of things that George Lucas stole from the writer of Dune, apparently. And again,
Zach's about to have an aneurysm.
Apparently,
that vein in your forehead showing.
Tatooine is essentially Arrakis, the Dune planet. They apparently Dune stole spice from Star Wars, moisture farmers and dew collectors, the sand crawlers,
Just to confirm,
Sarlacc.
are you saying Doom or Dune?
Dune. Dune. D-U-N-E. The
Okay,
Empire.
listen,
Apparently,
all I
the
have to
Empire was stolen.
Oh my god.
Princess Leia? How is Princess Leia stolen?
I'm gonna pull my fucking
That's not a
brains out.
thing. That's bullshit.
The Force. Okay, Dune is saying the Force is the voice from Dune.
Oh my god. Honestly,
Han Solo
the
is Duncan, Idaho.
theory that Lord of the Rings is a knockoff of the Bible makes way more fucking sense than this shit. This makes me so fucking mad. I can't even.
Zach,
Dude,
did you change
look
your
that
shirt?
shit up. Well, you could. No. Not yet.
Oh, guys,
I
they're
changed my
saying
pants.
that slug creatures like Jabba the Hutt is
Oh,
stolen
fuck
from
off.
Dune.
Dude, what I'm saying, okay, that's another thing. If you guys like Lord of the Rings, we'll talk about the show here soon. And I also have a background for that, so we need to move on.
I think that's the next episode, right? We're about to finish this one in about 5 minutes. So
that's its own topic because I love Lord of the Rings, and we can talk about that game, Brad, coming out. There's so many topics of Lord of the Rings that go with each other. But let's stop talking. Don't talk about Star Wars anymore. I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out. Can we talk about something much more painful than that?
Hold on, before you get to that, I want to put a pin in the Game of Thrones thing.
Okay,
Can we?
Sorry.
The best thing about season 8 was the fight between the dog and the mountain.
Dude,
it didn't give me justice either. I thought it was cool until it was like.
I thought that was.
I think that was the only way to do it, though.
Dude,
no, let the Hound win. That
the
whole thing was him overcoming him, and he didn't. He just sacrificed himself in order to beat him. That's not overcoming it. I think it was a fucking.
What happens to the
my
dog?
Star Wars shit's bleeding into
what's
this.
going to happen to the dog if he does win, and then there's
hump
nowhere
his
for him
face
to
or
go.
something like a dog
He didn't want to live in the first place.
Josh, you said his entire plot line. You find out as the seasons go on is literally based on, taking his brother out. And I wish he would have lived, but he didn't have a life to live.
But I'm not saying
will
that.
To live is gone.
I'm saying that he's sitting there. Obviously, he's going to die from his injuries. It's apparent. But fucking shove him off, have him fall down, and the Hound sit there on the castle as it crumbles, and have him die to the castle crumbling as he's sitting there just happy that he fucking lasts longer than his brother. That's all. That would have been way more poetic and better in that regard. Maybe I should start writing shit. After I burn Dune to the ground, I'm gonna start writing some different cinematic
Here's the
pieces.
thing: a person in that position, you're falling to your death, looking in the eyes of your own brother, knowing that he knows you're at least his equal.
I didn't mind.
He's superior.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind that ending.
I get it, but also no. Like I feel like everything season 8, everything was okay except for the Cersei thing, but it was okay. But there's so many opportunities where so many things could have been better.
It's very nuanced. The idea of him falling with his brother is very nuanced, and I get the simple minds don't get that.
Okay.
The 100% perfect endings of that show are Arya and Sansa. I think they, as far as the way they tied it up.
I think Ned Stark's ending made sense.
Listen, the whole show, Maggie was so distraught about that.
Yeah,
she didn't want to watch it anymore.
It messed me up. It was the first time I'd ever seen a main character get completely offed out of the blue in my TV watching.
Spoiler alert! She was.
They had to keep Sean Bean's streak of dying and shit up.
True,
that's fair.
True. It wasn't in the last.
That is very true.
Hey, I mentioned this before. I felt the same way about Sweets getting killed off in Bones. I haven't watched one fucking episode after that. That episode,
I think Bones is overrated. Moving on. Yeah.
Listen, I farted and it smells so bad. It's just trapped right here. I gotta light a fucking candle. Sorry. God damn.
With the Game of Thrones, so I actually didn't start watching Game of Thrones until until right before season 2 was going to premiere. So I actually didn't watch season 1 when it first came out, and my grandpa was huge on HBO shows. Like every time they released something, he was the first one to watch True Detective. He got me onto that show. Game of Thrones, he got me onto that. So season 1, I watched every single episode with him after he'd already seen it. So we watched it the summer before season 2 premiered, and I'm sitting there watching with him, and he set it up like Ned Stark was like the coolest motherfucker. And the whole time he was like, and he's like, and my grandpa was kind of a dick. And we're sitting there and we're watching the last episode where we all know how it ends with the well,
oh my god, what happened?
Before that, he was like, "You're gonna love this escape attempt. This is gonna be so sick." And so I'm sitting there and it's like, I'm like waiting for it. I'm like, when did season 1 come out, Brad?
2010.
2010. So I was 16 and I'm sitting there
11, 10. Yeah, 10.
I'm like, this is
shit
getting
popped
dicey.
off.
Like that sword's about to come down. Somebody better save him. Something's happening. What the fuck? And he just laughed. He looked at my face and just laughed. And then, yeah.
Kudos.
Oh my.
Cheers, Grandpa. That was a good one.
Yeah, cheers to Grants on that one. I started watching when season 3 was live, and it was one of those things where a bunch of people would come up to me and be like, "Dude, you really love this show. It's got you all over it. Like, you need to watch it." And I'd just be like, "Yeah, thanks for the rec. Cool." And that went on for
Nobody
like
believes
2
how
years.
good it is until after they watch it. Like nobody.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched Game of Thrones, I know we ruined half the show for you in this podcast, but god damn it, watch the show. Like
Nobody
it's not a
listens to this
cool
podcast, so we're
personality
not ruining
trait
it for
when
anybody. It's all right.
it's not a cool personality trait to ever say, "I haven't seen this and I will never change that." You're not cool. It doesn't make you more cultured.
The
makes you
post on
lame.
Facebook, I've never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. Listen, I was like, oh, cool. I don't, whatever. I want to believe the hype. I want to watch the show. I want to be in it. So I think when we met Chuck, it was, I don't remember what season it was, where homie got
like 4.
where he touched the homeboy and he got the shit all over his
when
arms.
Jonah
Oh,
gets
that was like 5.
Jorah gets grayscale. That's in season 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I first. That was my first experience of Game of Thrones. Was we stayed a little bit later than we should have, and I'm like, there's no context to this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then fucking everything came out, and then Maggie and I watched it on HBO, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So
His arc was amazing, by the way.
listen, that was my dude.
Yeah,
That was my dude.
big Jorah fan.
I liked it.
Hey, speaking of arcs, the best arc is the arc in my dick. So let's move on.
Oh, curved one. Got it.
Nice. God damn it.
Love it.
All right, Josh, send us home so I can go piss.
All right. So for our lovely, lovely special guests, Brad and Zach, I am Josh Tenney, along with, as always, Brandon Parks. This was the Guys Weekend Podcast. Good night.
Fuck Dune.
Peace, bitches.
Go